Is the rumor true? You've been out with that guy and you just broken up with your ex? Are you sure that's not a rebound? Wait. How long have you been single now? Hmm, I'm just kidding. All right, I did not hear from anyone, but this is something that we will be talking about this week for this episode. It's the new future. Welcome to your new future. You've been single for a while and then now you want to explore and you want to date again. Or is it the case? Hmm. Well, let's keep on talking about it. My name is Lee, and today we're decapitating a new stage in your life where you find yourself at the doorstep of your new future. This conversation is now open. No, I did not hear any rumors about you, stranger. But what is true is number one, I'm not uploading any videos anymore to the YouTube channel until the end of the season. So maybe season four, we're gonna get back. I'll just need some time to check how we do things over at YouTube. And I think the podcast, the recording, they're working for me, but YouTube, I don't think it's working for me. And number two, I would like to shorten the name of the podcast. So if you have any suggestions for it, I'm all ears. So stay until the outro. I will have all my details for you there. You can send me an email or send me a message through Instagram about your suggestion. I would be very, very happy to hear your suggestion, stranger, on how we can improve the podcast and how we can shorten the name of the podcast for so that people would it would be easy for people to look for it, when they type the name. So I was absent for a week. I missed one episode last week. And I said that this season I won't be doing that. But we're all just humans, really. Um, I had to battle some demons inside my head for the whole week. Plus, I had a little bit of a fever as well. I'm doing better now. I'm feeling better now. And don't worry, it's not COVID or COVID related. It's just really because summer is here and it's really just so hot. Welcome to the tropics kind of weather. Anyway, so that's all for the updates. Let's go back to our topic for this episode. So I'm happy that now you're living your new future, and I call this episode the new future because at this stage you have probably accepted the breakup. You already know that this is the alternate future. This is not, you're not living your expected life with your ex girlfriend, ex boyfriend. You are now living this life on your own, back on your feet again. Now, the thing is, being single can be a little bit boring at times, particularly depends on the kind of relationship that you had before the breakup or before becoming single again. If that was your first relationship, and this is really possible, if that's your first relationship and it was, it spanned a really, really long time, getting back on your feet on your own is a little bit hard, you know? So I imagine that you may not want to be dating right away and you would be taking time really to get back on your feet, reintroducing yourself or reacquainting yourself to a lot of things that you feel like you have missed from that really, really long relationship. Now, if you have, I know there are people who who would really need to be in a relationship all the time. So these people would be moving on faster, or if you're one of them, you're probably already dating people or falling in love again after your breakup. For the last few episodes, I've been saying that I believe in a personal timeline, and it's true. We all have our timeline. Now, the funny thing is, we like rules. We always like looking for guidance and mentoring, and this is so true for me in different aspects of my life. And I've always wondered, why is that? Like, I can't seem to trust my own intuition, and I don't know. I don't know about you, stranger, but for most of the time, the reason why we ask for advice from other people is because we just really want to know if what we're going to do or what we're going to decide upon is what we consider right, whether it's socially right or morally right, or however you define what is right. We just want that validation that what we're going to do is something good for us, good for the other person, and good for everyone else. Um, I heard a recording just this week reminding me that sometimes when you read books and when you watch YouTube videos on how to, or on self-help, or when you hear podcasts about it, the authors, the speakers, they would only talk about themselves. But that's just really whatever belief system they may have. It's all because of their experience. In the same way that when we read about the rules of dating again, or any rules or any guidebook, in when it comes to dating again, or when it comes to relationships, um it may have worked for a few folks, and they thought that they were the majority, so somebody wrote about it and turned it into some kind of commandment and printed it out, and people started buying it. And sometimes you stop and you ask yourself, why is it not working for me? Well, hey, you know what, surprise surprise, everybody has their own story to live. You and I, we have different lives. So even if I share with you all my experiences, and all the things that I have read and learned, um, you might be taking it a little differently based on the experiences that you have, whatever belief system you have now, whatever ideas, whatever things that you have learned in the past. Don't invalidate them. They are of some value, and you learn them because you needed to learn them. Whether we have the same ideas or the same beliefs, it doesn't really matter. For sure, you're here because you want to learn something new, I hope, or you just want to hear other options or other considerations, maybe. But I hope not to take to make all of these some sort of like a rule book, um, or prove a point to somebody else, because it's not really that. We all have our own timelines. So who's to say and who's to judge if you decided to um, date right away? Who's to judge if you felt like you needed to date right after, the breakup? And who's to judge if you want to be on a relationship right away after the breakup? Now, some people will judge and say, maybe they are just a rebound. And this is also where I fall short as a friend. And I think the reason why, when we want to learn about these things, we go to other sources other than our friends or relatives or anyone who's close to us, is because we want to avoid being judged. And, this is really where I fall short as a friend. especially when I was a lot younger. I was quick to judge. Oh, maybe that's just a rebound. And when I say that, when I was younger, it wasn't to instill curiosity, it wasn't to play devil's advocate. It was already tinged with a whole lot of judgment. Like, you know what? You dated too early. I think that's just a rebound. Now, as I grew older and learned more things and experienced more things and have met a lot of people, I realized that maybe it's not a rebound. It it's not. It could have been, or it could have led to something more serious than a rebound. So I'm happy if my friends did not listen to me at that time and weren't curious if that was a rebound or not. Yeah, and as I what am I saying? As I had been saying from the past season, the hardest thing really is to be honest with yourself. And now you're hearing me in all honesty that, I wasn't a good friend most of the time, especially when it comes to people who, or friends who had broken up with their um, exes. So, yeah, it's a little bit of being bitter as well of why are they dating right away. Because we have to understand that some of us, before ending the relationship, we're already over it. We already know what's gonna happen, and some of us would already have like other people in mind. And let's admit it, some of us have already cheated before ending the relationship. I have to be very honest with that. So by then, these rules do not apply. Not that I'm taking their side, but I am just saying that some of us had moved on way before we had broken up the relationship. So, would you consider that as a rebound? I don't think so. So, when is it a rebound? Is it okay to do rebounds? Can we get something out of it? Well, surprisingly, according to a lot of articles, and not that we're siding anyone's side right here, or we're not siding on anyone's side. Um, Rebound can be good for some people. I won't say for a lot of people, but for some people, particularly those who had been in a sexless relationship. Now, when I was reading this from Healthline, and yes, I got this from Healthline under their health and relationship section. Um, this was medically reviewed by Jennifer Littner, and this was written by Gabriel Castle. All right, for Healthline. So I felt a little bit attacked right here. No, really, because it said that it can be good for people who had experienced um, a sexless relationship. Hmm. Yeah. So I think that part is still kind of tricky for me to talk about. But yeah, so I guess if you come from that relation, I'm not guessing, I know this for a fact, it would help you regain your confidence to restart. Not that I'm saying that I did the rebound. I did not, actually. That's because I ask myself too many things for me to be able to do these kinds of things. And on top of that, I easily feel guilty. So, anything that puts guilt and would make me think about it for days, I'm not just gonna do it. Not because I am morally uh correct. No, it's just really me personally. So no judgment on those people who wants to do that, because it can help a lot with self-confidence. We have to understand that if you come from a sexless relationship, after that relationship breaks up, There's really just one question in your mind: am I not that attractive? Particularly sexually attractive. It's like every part of your confidence had been ripped apart because you're not just that attractive. And that's why the person who had just broken you didn't even want to touch you. You know, you're ugly, you're disgusting. That's why that relationship was like that. It wasn't intimate at all. So yeah, so if I'm not giving you any reason to do this, or I'm not justifying your case for you, but all I'm just saying is it can be good for you if you had experienced this kind of relationship. Now, rebound works if the other person knows that you're just looking for a rebound. If they know that this is more of a companionship than an actual relationship. What makes or what gives rebound that negative story, that negative facade, is that some people would use it for their own gain, right? It is very, very, very important that in a relationship, we would tell the other person what we what we expect out of it, you know? Whether you believe that rebound is a relationship or not, it's best if you tell the other person what your intentions are. So nobody gets hurt that much. I mean, sharing, being intimate with the other person, even if they tell you they did not feel anything, that's a lie. Okay? Because when you share intimate moments with another person, there would be a rush of chemicals in your brain, and your brain would interpret it as sometimes your brain would just interpret it as love, romantic love, that is, because it makes you feel good, it makes you feel happy. And that's why, sex can be addictive too. So it has different effect on people. And again, I cannot blame people if they are in this kind of situation and they fall for the other person. If at the onset of the relationship everything is clear, okay, if you don't want me to call it a relationship, fine. Rendezvous. If at the start of your rendezvous they already know what your intentions are, most likely when you do it, when you become intimate, when you have sex, it's not going to be as difficult to interpret as when they don't know anything about your intention. So rebound is only negative, it's only bad if you did not made it clear with the other person, right? Okay, what if I feel like this is no longer a rebound? What if I would want it to become a relationship? Then you have to talk about it with the other person. See, the best way to know um, whether you're already ready to date or not is when you feel like you have become a better person, and nobody can tell you that but yourself. So, what does it mean by being a better person? Number one, you're not afraid of being alone anymore. You're okay, you're happy with yourself, you have found different kinds of love around you. You have accepted the fact that things just happen, and then when things happen they're probably for good, or for something better for you and the other person. You have accepted the flaws that you have, and you feel like it's okay not to be perfect, but you also know where to improve, which one to improve, where to focus on. If you understand yourself better, then you're already ready to understand other people better. And that's That's a relationship. That's when a relationship actually works, when both of you can understand where both of you are coming from. And we're not even talking about falling in love romantically yet. This is just really dating. You would know that you're already falling in love when that feeling that you feel with that person is something that you want to share in some form or way to other people, and not just for the two of you, you know? So it's really really important to have that open communication with the other person. And also, it's very very important to be very honest with yourself. Now, it's really hard to be honest with yourself. That I think I did check that up on how to be honest with yourself, but I just don't know if I open it. Oh yeah, here it is. And there are actually so many ways to be more honest with yourself, but I think to be honest with yourself, you have to be really vulnerable and really start understanding how things are in your life and putting them in different perspective, accepting that there are still things that you haven't worked on, that you still have to work on. and and when you're ready to understand yourself more, then you're also ready to understand others better. Now, it's hard to date when you're still looking for yourself, because by then you cannot give the best of yourself to the other person. And most likely you'll just end up hurting each other. I'm not saying only you will be hurting that person, but you'll end up hurting each other, because they would notice that, they would tell you that, and before it even happens, the actual relationship, it might already be gone. Now, in the next few episodes, we're going to talk about dating. And the reason why we talk about your new future is because this is the stage where you would want to know whether you're ready to date. Whether this is 6 months for you, 3 months for you, the next day, or even a year or even years, it doesn't really matter. The point is, it's only you who would know how long will it take you to be ready for such thing. Now, there is one thing that I've read, and it's well, let me check. Um I find it a little bit interesting, right? But I agree with almost everything on this article that talks about the best time to date after a breakup. Or actually, it's more of the title of this article was 13 experts reveal the best time to date after a breakup. So I went through it, I read it, and I do agree with a lot of it. Like, once you've learned a lot about yourself, you're ready to be a good partner, yada yada, you feel happy with yourself. But things about your ex right here, like you no longer want your ex back. And um, you're no longer comparing anyone to your ex. Okay. I think those two are going to be, they would take really a lot of time. No, I did not pause for dramatic. It wasn't a dramatic pause because I just can't put into words what I want to say. Yeah, I think that when you love someone, what happens is when you get to love another person, it just gets its own compartment. You just put it in a box and you put it on a shelf. And every day that you pass by that shelf, you know that that love is there. So I can't truly say that when you no longer want your ex, because I think all of us, or maybe not all of us, I won't generalize, but for some of us, there would always be that hope that one day you're gonna end up with that person, or hopefully you're gonna end up with that person. It's not even it. I am not looking at it in a romantic sense. Um, I think I mentioned it in one of the episodes. If not, then I'm gonna mention it now. There's an article that I've read just this pandemic, but I can't really remember the title of the article. And a friend also pointed out that article, and we talked about it, where it said, or where it explained why we gravitate towards series that we've already watched and why we like to rewatch certain series. Well, it's all because of familiarity. And in the same way, aside from liking and having strong attachments to the characters, it really is familiarity, a sense of being in the same place. So when you put that romantic relationship and romantic partnership aside with a person, you're just really putting it in a box if you did love that person completely. And the comparison, not that I'm siding again with anyone. I think for the first few parts of the relationship, or the first few times that you're dating, even when you're completely even when you're completely over the person, there would still be comparison. Not because you still want that person. In fact, you don't want to be with that person anymore. You've played the scenario in your head, and no matter how much you play it, your heart, not your heart, sorry, your brain tells you that this isn't the right person for you. But why do we get to compare the people that we date, the people that we meet, to our exes? We're not comparing because of the person. We're comparing because of the traits and the experiences and the expectations that we are looking for. Maybe that person has a quality that you always have wanted. And maybe without you really knowing it, it was such a deal breaker if someone new comes along who doesn't have that particular trait, or that particular belief, or that particular knowledge. And it's only coming up now after the relationship, how much that particular trait had impacted you and not the person. And sadly, if you have these kinds of things, it's an indicator that when you were with that person, maybe you want to ask yourself whether you did love that person or not. Maybe you were just sticking with that person because of the convenience, and because he or she had all of these traits that made you really, really comfortable. And that could be the case there. Again, we're not siding, and I'm very cautious about these things because I don't want you to think, stranger, that I'm taking anyone's side, or I am giving people um, grounds to stand on to justify themselves and their actions. But I'm just giving you out probabilities that may be happening in somebody else's brain. At the end of the day, no matter how much we know a person, we don't know what's going on inside their brain, and we can never be too sure of what they're thinking about. So, with that said, all right, um, we won't really know. It could be just really that they've they're over it, and the reason why these comparisons are suddenly coming up because subliminally it was a deal breaker, and they just didn't know it, or you just didn't know it up until now. And I'm really happy that now you're in your new future, that you've accepted that this is how things went, and that you're already thinking about whether you're going to be dating again or not. That is a very awesome improvement. And for that, I'm sorry, I did not, my mic is not connected to my caster. So, no effects. So I'm just going to be clapping a little bit. Yay for you, for you to be able to advance to this stage. That is really really awesome. But still, while you're deciding whether you're gonna be dating again or not, or if you're still deciding if you want to stay single for a while, enjoy this portion, enjoy the space, enjoy it, get to know yourself more, uh, do the things that you like to do. There's no telling how your next relationship or how your next date will be going. So I cannot really say, even if I tell you not to lose yourself in the next relationship, we both know that we don't know exactly what's going to happen. So while you're here, enjoy it, have fun, and welcome to your new future. Hey, stranger. This isn't a one way conversation, so join me and let me know what you think. Send me an email at linotegami@gmail.com. That's linotegami@gmail.com. Let's be updated with each other's lives and follow each other on Instagram. Look for at Lilith Star or Lilithstr. Let me know if you like our discussions and if you like the show. So please do leave a rating on your favorite streaming for this show. I'd love to hear from you in any way. Stranger, thank you so much for listening. Please keep healthy and see you on the next episode. My name is Lee, and this is Decapitated Thoughts.